Hi beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel, Beautiful Awakening with Shantia. Welcome to another pick a card reading with me. I'm back. First pick a card reading in 2026, and we are working with an interesting setup right now. I'm experimenting with a lot today. A lot of firsts are happening. I'm still in transition in my life right now. I hope your guys' transition into the new year has been beautiful, and that you are looking forward to some of the gems that want to show up. Today we're going to be diving into your future self. It's been a minute since I've done a future self reading, and I find that the future self reading tends to pick up energies maybe a year or two out. So that's probably what we're going to be picking up in this reading. I have not prepared any pre-designed oracle card designs. It's funny, I was getting ready to do this reading. I was so excited because it had been like 3 weeks since I had shot a pick a card, and I just wanted to do it, forgetting that I didn't design any oracle card designs, but it's fine, we don't need it. So today what we're working with here is we have a unique setup. So these are some like random items I've collected, and it's sitting in a very old, watercolor palette that you can get from Walmart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sort of, I don't know, spin it around or something, close my eyes, and I'm going to choose an item. And that item is going to be a representation of whatever your future self is wanting to emphasize as far as who you're becoming. We have oracle cards, we have tarot cards here, we have the astro dice. I didn't pick any crystals, but we have a lot of material to choose from. So I think this is going to be really exciting for you guys. Yeah, so happy 2026. Excited for the new year. I hope you are getting that, or you've had that refresh energy. Check out my astrological forecast video. I should be uploading that before this on my Soul Awakening with Shantia channel. If you're interested in understanding the trends and how things are going to be shifting from month to month, I thought that was the approach I wanted to take versus doing a transit video where I talk about from the ascendant how certain planets are transiting, because we're not having necessarily a lot of we're having some movement with Jupiter, but we're going to be picking it up in the monthly tarot readings anyways. So I thought I would do it that way. I like doing the deep dive astrological transit. So every time Jupiter transits into a different nakshatra, not zodiac sign, there's 27 nakshatras. When it transits into a different nakshatra, you're going to hear me talk about it. Sorry for my mouth. I'm kind of being blocked by the camera here. But you're going to get to hear me talk about what's going on. Okay, so lots to look forward to. Let's just go ahead and get started with introducing, just starting with the groups, seeing what charms want to come through, and then we'll start pulling cards, and we're going to see whatever your future self wants you to know, wants to reveal to you, whether it's messages, advice, encouragement, or recognition of the person you are becoming. I'm so excited. Let's go ahead and get started right away. Let's go ahead and do the meditation first, just so, I don't have my Palo Santo. Sorry, I forgot it. It's in my box downstairs. So what we're just going to do is we're going to ring the singing bowl, and we're just going to have a moment of silence before we get into group one's reading. Okay, here is the singing bowl. Along with the little dog hair. So cute. All right, group number one. Let's go ahead and get started on your reading. Hey, group number one, welcome to your reading. So we're just looking into some messages from your future self, and this is also going to give us a preview as to what you've been working on. These messages are usually overwhelmingly positive because that's what Source wants you to focus on. Your future self really is just a projection of your higher self and the incremental change and growth that you've been able to experience as you've been working on yourself. So we're going to get some, maybe a little tough love advice from Source saying, okay, you need to really focus on this. Don't ignore this. And then we're also going to get a preview into what is really working well for that projection of that future self that you're really wanting to claim and merge with. Okay, let's go ahead and reveal some of these cool gems and tokens. And I'm just going to go ahead and just feel around. And whatever I'm feeling drawn to, maybe energetically I can feel whatever I'm feeling drawn to, I will pick up for you, group number 1. Okay, I'm feeling somewhere. Let's see if I'm feeling energy from here. Nope. Maybe. Okay, I'm feeling energy from this here. So this is going to be your charm for your reading. Let me go ahead and just set this aside so we can focus. Okay. So this is a cute little card here. It says, because we care. How sweet is that? What is, oh, my finger peeled. I was like, what's that on my finger? Yeah. Okay. Because we care. Okay. So just looking at the design, it's so delicate. So this actually was housing a bracelet a friend of mine's gave me for her during her bridal shower. It was a cute little bridal gift that she gave me. And sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm balanced. Because we care. So this is saying that you're becoming someone who really cares, but this feels like support as well. It feels like divine is sending you a message saying, we care about you, so you should care about you. Because of this green, this is giving me very earthy, grounded energy. I feel like you are learning how to become very grounded within yourself. You are learning how to prioritize yourself and your care. You know, I'm seeing someone take a bath, eat good food, rest well, and so you're going to be living well, is what your future self is saying, is you're surrounded by those gentle comforts of day-to-day life. Yeah, and I love how it's on the outside of this sort of envelope here. So immediately, I think what people see when they're looking into your eyes is they see someone who does care. They see someone who recognize that they matter too. And that's because that this person has learned how to prioritize their well-being. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up. Oh, oh my goodness. Look at that message we have inside. It says, happiness guarantee. Because we care and happiness guarantee. So this is saying that your happiness is being guaranteed here in the future. Now, the funny thing, I never read this. I know it's so bad of me when I got this from my friend. I'm a weird person. I like care a lot about certain things, and then some things I just like completely miss, which is hilarious. But look, you're focusing on your happiness and your well-being is what your future self is saying. So definitely prioritize this. They're also saying your happiness is guaranteed. Maybe because you finally learned how to prioritize your happiness, which, you know, group number 1, if you've done that, I'm so proud of you. That is hard for a lot of people to do sometimes because they think it's egoic. Next message we have here, if you're not in love with your peace, let us help. So maybe this is about finding love for life. This is a company, here if you can see that, it says support@gldn.com and has their number. Maybe, you know, I'm actually kind of getting a flash to maybe someone who does have their own business. You know, if you have like a networking or social media or a way for people to contact you, maybe this is how people are when they approach you. You already have this on your website of some sort, and they're calling your number because they're like, oh, we want to really talk to this person because we think they can help us with finding attunement with our own happiness. Okay. Oh, I love that angle a lot better. Okay, I just fixed it. Okay, so it says here, if you're not in love with your peace, let us help. So maybe this is you, right? This is you saying, hey, let me help. I can help. But this is not coming from a place of like, I need to save the world. It's just like, I can help because I've prioritized my well-being. It says here, we want you to be thrilled. Oh, okay. There's a lot of really beautiful energies that are coming through. There's some fire, there's passion. You know, happiness always takes me to this energy of yellow coming through. We want you to be thrilled. So maybe you are going to be thrilled. Very just happy, thrilled person. Okay. We got care tips. That's so cute. How to care, how to take care of yourself. Maybe writing, something about writing coming through, you know, because this reminds me of like a written envelope. Maybe there's some writing coming through as far as like what you're going to be doing. Maybe you're going to be writing books on teaching people how to care for themselves. You know, when you go into the library and you see those books and you're like, oh my gosh, that book is so cute. And you just want to pick it up and read it. Sorry, something on my hand. Let me just go ahead and wipe it off. Is it coming up? Kind of, mostly. But yeah, you're going to be that person who, you know, gives people these tips. How to take care of yourself, how to care for yourself, how to prioritize your well-being. This is what not to do. So yeah, I'm seeing some cleansing happening, purification that's happening with your future self. But you're the person, it says here, more tips. You're the person that people go to for all these tips, details, information for how they can do things better. We got a little cute little polish cloth for the bracelet. Only use this polish cloth to remove tarnish. Over polishing is harmful. The polish in the cloth turns black as it activates. It means it's working. Okay. So polishing, again, this is taking me to like clarification, someone who's really working on themselves, taking the time to prioritize their well-being, someone who's taking the time to care about the foods that they put into their body. And there's such a gentle energy. We also have here handmade, conscious, awesome. Okay, so that's you. You're authentic, handmade, conscious. Your future self is a lot more conscious here, and you're awesome. So I think this is someone who's confident and they're really feeling their self. We have here at the bottom, share with pride. Share with pride. So this is someone who has found joy and happiness in their life and they want to share that with the world. Okay, let's go ahead. That was some really in-depth messages. I wasn't expecting that to come through. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards for you guys to see what your future self also wants you to know. Group number 1. That was Wilds. Okay. Okay, so your future self has a lot of messages. Oh my goodness. We got the Emperor. We have 10 of Pentacles, inheritance. We have 10 of Swords, which is taking us to probably escaping the Matrix, because this is what this channel's about. We have Perseverance, someone who's very perseverance, the World, someone who knows how to close out old cycles that don't serve them so that they can move on in life. We have getting started with the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful. So there's a lot of abundance, earthy energy coming through. We have 9 of Pentacles, success here. And we also have workaholic, so definitely watch for that. We got routine, 2 of Pentacles. We have enthusiasm with the Page of Wands and 8 of Pentacles with expertise. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just like collectively fill through. You got most of the Pentacles cards, which is kind of crazy. Sorry about that insane shuffle. But what we're picking up here is someone who is very grounded, right? That was the first thing that came through. Someone's very grounded. Even the Emperor card is a reflection of that Taurus. Is that Taurus? Oh, no, Aries. Well, you know, the Emperor's like a father energy, so very caring. This is someone who's authoritative, right? Someone who knows himself. This is not someone who's relying on other people for their sense of self-worth, right? So we got Ace, 2. Ace, 2, 5, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So some things that you've been learning to get over with the 5 of Pentacles and then 10 of Swords is feeling restricted. So this actually is feeling a little bit closer in time as far as what where your future self is landing here. This is pretty close because this is the energy I was also picking up in the 2026 reading. So this future self feels within, you know, a year's time. This is something that you have learned how to get a lot more comfortable with. So we have that thrilling energy. We have the Page of Wands, but this is playful. And I like how we have this combination here, the pairing here of the Page of Wands and the Emperor card. So it's you learn how to maintain that youth inside of you. You learn how to have fun and not take yourself too seriously. But when it comes to responsibility and understanding what's important, you very much are owning your power here. and you're the one who's calling the shots in your life. You're not letting anyone call the shots in your life. So this is beautiful. Looks like you really learned how to overcome some limiting beliefs here with the Ten of Swords that were keeping you closed off to how manifestation works, to how abundance works, to being in this world works. And what I always try to tell people is, I absolutely have felt that desire to want to escape from the world, from life, and it hasn't served me. It actually made me feel more miserable. So maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I don't know how long ago it was, I set this intention to want to escape into my life instead of escaping from it. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing someone who is like getting very grounded on this earth. They're participating, they're present, and they're witnessing, and they're actually seeing the beauty in it. I feel really sad when I just realized this is in a plastic container. Oh, because they're but I thought it was very interesting that I feel really sad when people are so sad and so miserable about life here on Earth, because it's challenging, but it's also kind of fun. We came here to play the video game, and when you're playing video games, it's kind of fun to overcome challenges. And that's what I'm seeing. Someone who's able to get past some blockages. It says here blocked. Looks like your future self has gotten past a lot of blockages and a lot of fear programming, and you're experiencing this kind of like makeover where now you're feeling truly empowered to just be yourself and be authentic. Okay. Really insane. We'll just go ahead and leave those cards there, and we'll go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you. Group number 1, I'll just pull from the top. We have here love. That is a powerful pull. The first card in the deck, you got love. Aphrodite, I call to thee to bring true love here to me. I would love to get into the mythology around love, perhaps when I talk about Venus in my astrological deep dive videos for the Grahas. I will talk about Venus here and what love really means, and Aphrodite. So this is someone who feels independent, like there's a strong sense of independence that's coming through, someone who's not relying on other people for their sense of self-worth, but someone who loves themselves. I'm getting very similar energies with this. You've completed these old, outdated cycles, you're stepping into newer, brighter ones, more conscious ones, higher states of consciousness, where you get to love life and appreciate life. Beautiful. All right, let's go ahead and pull from this deck here. Okay, this one is sticking out, so we'll pull this. Isn't that very feminine? Look at that, the maiden. Huh, there's kind of like a little bit of theme going on here. Okay, so the maiden, this is like this energy of like purity, purification. The maiden it could be a stage, but it's a part of our archetypes as women especially. The maiden exists in us. And the maiden is a representation of, it's that energy that just has not been touched by the darkness of the world, or, before it steps into other roles as a feminine. So very beautiful. Let me see what else I'm picking up from this card. There's a lot of references to the breast. So the breast here is about nourishment here. And I think before we want to offer all this nourishment to the world, especially for us who are really sensitive souls, the first thing to work on is your own nourishment. But I love how we are getting these beautiful pinks. I was picking up passion for your future self. So we're getting some beautiful pinks. We're getting some beautiful oranges. So warm and lovely, right? Lovely and loving. And we have this rose as well. And the rose, right, it grows in the garden around thorns, or has thorns, but it's beautiful. So there's just kind of this beauty that's emanating from you is what your future self is saying. There's a kind of glow around you, and people are sensing this, they're seeing this, they're witnessing this. It's not something where you're like, oh my god, I'm glowing, I look so great. I think it's just an aura and energy that people notice around you. But this is something that you're going to learn how to own so intuitively that you won't even think about it. You won't even think about it. Okay. And let's go ahead and pull a card from the archetype deck here. Oh, we got trickster, tricky. So this says transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Okay. Yeah, breaking free of the matrix. This is also about learning how to master that inner magician inside of you. So I was actually watching someone who was watching a mouse escape out of, it was like a game, and it was trying to like get through the maze. And that's you. That's all of us. You're learning how to break free and break through this maze of life. And you're learning how to see through the duplicity. So it says manipulation and duplicity here. Shadow attributes. So you're learning the tricks of life. So you're learning that life plays tricks on you, especially when it comes to the earthly realm. So I talk about this a lot on my channel when it comes to work and jobs. We're not here to work jobs. We're here to follow our passion. And that's really hard for people to see because they get so stuck in the practical, they never fully take off to trust in seeing what the universe has actually meant for them. So you're not being manipulated. This is someone who's not manipulative or This is someone who people cannot manipulate. This is someone who people cannot dupe. They can't play tricks on you. You see right through it. You see right through other people. You see right through them. And you're like, nope, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the truth and living the truth. This is someone who lives a unique, eclectic life, right? You're transcending convention, right? You're not, I mean, you could participate in it, but you're not, your whole world doesn't revolve on the perfect White House with the perfect white picket fence and the dog and the kids, 2.5 kids. Your life revolves around you having fun and doing things that you're passionate about and caring about yourself and caring about the world and being of service to humanity. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull a card from here to close out the reading. These cards are so lovely, so I want to use them from the Goddess Oracle deck here. I mean, a different Goddess Oracle deck. Oh, we got 2. Okay, we got here Hera. Oh, look at those peacock feathers going down her hair. Gorgeous. And Hera from the other Goddess Oracle deck I have is often connected to alliances, partnership, very Venusian energy. And then we have here the High Priestess. Oh, gorgeous. So you are the High Priestess for sure. And you are owning this energy of Hera. Hera is an ancient goddess who, before she appeared as wife to Zeus in Greek mythology, was a powerful matrilineal queen in her own right. Hera is the original, all-powerful, multifunctional goddess responsible for every aspect of existence. A symbol of the complete woman. Among the Greeks, so we got the completion card. So this is someone who is whole, complete. Among the Greeks, Hera was the goddess of marriage, a special goddess of women who accompanies each woman through every moment of her life. Her various titles point to her roles as bringer of fertility, goddess of marriage, protector of children, of women during birth, and of money, and presider with a peacock, symbolic of beauty, luxury, and immortality. The spots on its feathers reflect the starry firmament, and the peacock has knowledge of the weather, reflecting the ancient role of the goddess, bringer of seasons. Hera is a mature, powerful goddess, combining both practicality and nurturing. A strong image of the supremacy? A strong image of the supremacy of the queen within. Okay. Very beautiful. So this text is by Michael Babcock. The illustrations are by Susan Eleanor Bollett. Beautiful. Yeah, we're getting that moon feminine energy. Very strong woman energy is coming through, and especially with the high priestess supporting this. The high priestess is the direct representative of the goddess on earth. She has direct responsibility for functions that ensure fertility and ongoing creation. Priestesses often were responsible for ensuring rain, for the goddess was a giver of dew and of rain. They often tended a sacred flame, the embodiment of the creative spark. The high priestess is the great goddess herself, a universal figure found in such diverse guises as Isis in Egypt, Kuan Yin throughout all of Asia, Athena in Greece, and Rhiannon among the Celts. Celts. This goddess is all-knowing and all-wise. She creates life out of herself and bestows life-giving waters. At the proper time, she takes life away so that the divine spark in each person may be freed to continue on its journey. The high priestess is a reminder of the innate wisdom in each of us. She demands that we connect to the divine spark within and manifest it in the world. Yes, so we are definitely getting a spark here, and it looks like you are absolutely participating in a lot of creative energy in your life with all these pentacles showing up. You are participating, you are present, you are engaging. And everything that gets you pour out of your essence is seemingly beautiful. So there's our high priestess. So it looks like this feels like past a phase of initiation. It looks like you've completed some sort of phase of initiation with your future self, where you've learned how to really own this divine light inside of you, the divine spark. Okay, we're going to go ahead and close out that reading. I feel like there was just so much information that came through there. I mean, I could roll the astro dice for final advice. We can. I always do it out of habit. Okay, we got Pluto, 8th house, Gemini. Yeah, so the advice right now, in order for you to own this part of your future self that's able to create this beautiful life, is to go through your transformations and to embrace transformations, to understand that the death and rebirths you experience in life are absolutely necessary. The high priestess knows this. You know it. You absolutely know it. This is very psychic energy. We have here Gemini energy. So a lot of the resonance, the ideas that are coming through your journaling, your ideas, your mind, your thoughts, patterns. They're repeating on patterns. And it's those little pieces of advice that are helping you to move towards the life that you're wanting to create for yourself here, the future self that you're going to be able to embrace. But it looks like you have a lot of psychic energy to tune into. You are here to be a vessel, and you've acknowledged it at this point. So just continue to own it, and to know that this is going to be your life. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. Group number 1, like, subscribe, or comment down below to support. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading. So let's just go ahead and pick a charm out of here. I'm going to go ahead and, what I did with the other group is I just saw whatever I was feeling energy around, and that's how I picked. I was going to just like close my eyes and pick something, but I'm like, you know what? I'm an energy filler. I might as well use that. So let's just go ahead and see what I'm feeling energy around, and that's what I'm going to choose for your reading. Okay, I'm feeling energy here. Just go ahead and move some things around and see what specifically I'm feeling energy around. No, they're saying this way. So this? Oh, hi. Hi there. Not that. Not that either. So this? Yeah. Yep. Okay. So let's see what wants to come through. Nice. So you guys got this cute ribbon. I got this actually forever ago, high school. The story that comes with it is so what we had is we did like some sort of illustration contests and for our class. It was just fun. And that was kind of like my beginning stage of being a painter. But yeah, the class went around and they gave ribbons to the ones that they like the most, I guess. And I think I won. Okay, so this pattern is intense. So it kind of looks like a maze, right? But it also is taking me to like golden robes and to like biblical references as well. And it's taking me to Joseph's story about the magic robe and how Joseph was sort of like the chosen one, and he was psychic and he was intuitive. And he was made fun of, and he was kind of like a favorited son, but then his brothers were so jealous of him that they tried to get rid of him. I'm referring to the Disney version, okay? I did not read the book. But for some reason he still maintained, he was always given like luck and generosity from people, and no matter how things went wrong in life, things went right. Every time something went wrong, it went right for him. So it's almost like he always had this sort of divine protection around him. And this looks like it's reminding me of a G. So it's reminding me of like God. The big G. G-O-D. Here. But I'm seeing someone who's walking through a maze almost effortlessly. Like they just kind of know how to find their way with ease. And that's what your future self is saying. It's able to walk through the maze, the challenges with more ease in life. It knows its direction. You could walk through blindfold and find your way. That's what your future self is saying. You're going to be able to walk through blindfolded, and you're going to be able to find your way here. And there's something about the structure of this that feels very strong. Even though we have some pieces coming out here with the strings, it still feels quite solid. You know how when we go through a journey, we're sort of beat up or our shoes are scuffed up if we've been walking a long time in them. They're still strong. Your feet are still strong. The robe is still strong. The royal robe reference, I wrote a song about this just for fun. And I think the royal robe is just sort of a reference to me of like being divinely protected. So I feel like it's almost like seeing someone walk on water or walk through sharks or something, and they're protected. That's what I'm seeing. I think your future self is just going to learn how to own this, when you're like, yeah, I'm not afraid because I will walk through unscathed. So this also means that there are challenges on the horizon, and there always will be, because that's part of the human experience. But you're going to learn how to face them more and more with ease and without as much fear. You're going to be able to let go of that fear, because I'm seeing this like straight line of just like learning how to navigate, walking straight towards the goal of what you feel is important to you, focusing on what's important to you. And I'm also getting a reference to some sort of sweater that they make in, I don't know, the Norwegian, maybe like Sweden or something, where they do like a double stitch, and the double stitch makes it like warm. So they like stitch on one side, they use like, I don't know, like 4 knitting needles to do it, and they knit on the other side, and it makes it super thick, even though it doesn't look like a super thick sweater. So there's like protection, warmth. Yes, I'm getting the reference to the royal robe again in Joseph. Yeah, you're always going to be protected. Your future self knows you're going to be protected. You're going to be warm. You're not going to have to be afraid of survival. You're not going to be afraid of not having your needs met. You will be protected. And this is also taking me to a reference where I watched a movie about this guy. He got his car stolen, and he was like walking through a very shady neighborhood, and he was like running through it, and it was like super shady. He was hearing people scream and everything, but somehow he got through that chaotic day. It was a comedy. He got through that chaotic moment without being damaged, and he ended up fine by the end of the day. So that's what I'm seeing for your future self. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some tarot and see what else your future self has to say. Group number 2. Nice. So the other group, we got like 20 cards. Oh, thankfully, we got one. Oh, you got the Hierophant. Royal Robe. Royal Robe. God. Wisdom. The Hierophant. So your future self is also saying that you are a teacher that people can look to by the energy that you emanate. You don't have to start an organization or cult of the sort. You can just be someone who leads by example, and that's the most important thing. Your future self is saying that there's this sort of magnetic energy around you. I'm seeing these people at sort of the feet of this priest. there are people around you who are kind of looking to you, to your guidance and to your support. So I think, what I'm hearing is it's okay to sort of own that sort of magnetism. And the thing is, you've been trained for it. So divine does not grant this sort of position lightly to people. People try to claim it all the time, and they give terrible advice about life. But those who are sincere, they will know how to maintain humility without being distracted in life. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing someone who knows how to maintain humility, someone who is a truth seeker, a truth speaker, and because of that, can give people really great advice of wisdom on what works and what does not work in life. Okay, I'm just going to go and move forward towards pulling your other oracle cards here. Group number 2. We got good cheer here. Number 25, with a kind heart and humor free, may good cheer rule, so mote it be. So your future self is saying that you are someone who is cheerful. We got this serious priest, but we also have this blend of someone who is jolly, who is happy, who has this bright aura and energy around them. So definitely own that and know that that is something that your future self has learned how to harness is joy, the power of joy. And that joy is emanating from your kind heart and freedom, humor free. So you're free because you have a beautiful sense of humor, and your heart is kind in terms of what it in terms of its intentions towards others. May good cheer rule, so mote it be. So that's telling me that you make it a priority to be positive, to be in a good mood, or you make it a priority just to put out positive energy into the world. And probably because it's just emanating from you naturally. So we're getting this sort of fairy-like energy here with the women with the wings, and this Gemini energy is also coming through. And we have a bit of, I think, sacral chakra. So your willpower to, I think, follow your joy, follow your passion has helped you to maintain this joy in life. And you put people in a good mood. That's what I'm seeing. You put people in a good mood. So your future self definitely feels very lighthearted, kind, and wise. Let's go ahead and pull a card from here. The Judge. The Judge. So this is showing me that your future self has learned how to cultivate a beautiful sense of discernment, right? So this is how you're able to walk through the maze so beautifully, is you know what works and what does not work. A lot of times people are just caught in patterns and cycles where they're just repeating those cycles over and over, and they're like, I don't know what's working. And you're just looking at them like, have you changed anything? And they're just like, I don't know what's working. It's like, well, you might want to put in some effort to change your ways. Then it may start working. You might surprise yourself. So yeah, a lot of people feel like things don't work in life unless they really start to acknowledge and understand that it's just their approach to it, and that needs to change. Yeah, I'm sort of kind of getting this sense of black and white. The Hierophant to me has a strong sense of reverence and morals towards life, what's right, what's wrong. There's a reverence here with the prayer hands. There's this handout, so that's generosity or receptivity, receiving guidance. Part of what puts people in that good mood is knowing that they're going to get something, right? And as a divine child, if you have a divine bank account and you know that source is always helping you and supporting you, why would you be in a bad mood? There's so many reasons to be in a good mood. Now, we get in bad moods all the time. It happens. But when we think about that from that perspective, there's always a reason to be in a good mood. There's a acknowledgement of death, right? There's an acknowledgement of death. We also have sight. So I think you're learning how to master your inner sight, your third eye for sure. And you're learning how to embrace death, change. You're learning how to embrace change and not be so judgmental towards it. You're understanding it's just a part of life. It's part of the patterns of life, the cycles of life. Okay. Let's see what else would like to come through. Ooh, nice. So we got child wounded, and then we have this reference to the sacral chakra again. So it says here, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. Shadow attribute blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Resists moving on through forgiveness. We were just talking about this. Yeah, the way that we move on is we just have to acknowledge. We have to forgive that things happened. Now, I'm not going to lie, when you're in the midst of it, it's hard to forgive. You know how people are like, well, I forgive you. Even though you're doing this to me. It's actually natural and normal to feel resentment in the moment, in that space. You don't have to force yourself to forgive people while they're hurting you. What you can do instead is just acknowledge that you want something different and you're open to something different, and divine is guiding something different into your life because you asked. Simply because you asked. So you don't have to force yourself to forgive people. This happens naturally. When you're focused on your passion, when you're living life and you're working on yourself, you will naturally forgive people. This isn't something you have to force yourself to do. You know how people have those like retreats and stuff. I forgive the child in me. I forgive the pain that this I'm like, you can, what that is, it's an acknowledgement. Okay, the actual forgiveness literally happens where you wake up one day and you realize you're not obsessing about it anymore. You're not fixated, you're not angry anymore. And the only way to get out of the anger is to focus on your joy. Here, so you don't have to force yourself to forgive people. You don't have to force yourself to move on. Here, it's just going to happen naturally. So it looks like your future self has learned how to understand and glean more of the wisdom to what has contribute to the childhood wounds that we all have, and what will help you to move past it. So please do not believe in this false narrative of like, you know, oh, you know, this child was just born an angelic child and they're just always happy and always forgiving. And I'm like, no, they're going to have to go through their stuff, you know, at some point as an adult and process. You don't process things as kids, you process them as adults. So that's when the real work really starts. Okay, let's go ahead and move forward and pull a card here from this Goddess Oracle deck that I love so much. Oh, okay, we hit the cactus. Oh, the lighting is changing. It's so interesting. Yeah, because we got sunlight peeking through the window here. Okay, I used to shoot at night mostly, or early in the morning, but now I shoot midday. It feels good. We have Morgan Le Fay. Morgan Le Fay is commonly remembered as the enchantress, half-sister, of King Arthur. She is in fact the great queen goddess, ruler of the mystical island of Avalon, the fortunate island of the blessed dead, sometimes equated with the ancient Irish warrior goddess Morrigan. She is the Celtic death goddess. As Morgana Fata, she is the controller of destinies and knows the fate of each person. She is noted for her healing powers, her knowledge of healing plants, and her prophetic vision, just like Joseph. Like a shaman, she is a shapeshifter, able to take on many forms. Very Gemini energy. Morgan Le Fay represents the deep place of healing magic within each of us, the center where wisdom and healing flow even in the moment of death. The ambivalence with which she is traditionally represented echoes our own fear of her deep and ancient wisdom. Beautiful. I love this mix of being able to face death and difficulty and yet learning how to maintain this beauty, this healing magic in life, right? Very beautiful. I love that feminine acknowledgement. There we go. Morgan Le Fay. There she is. She kind of looks like Porcupiney, isn't she? Is that cool? So illustrations by Suzanne Eleanor Bolette. Text is by Michael Babcock. Awesome. Yeah, she looks very mysterious, like she's moving into the night, and it looks like she has like a porcupine like royal robe around her, surrounding her. And maybe those porcupine quills are actually creating divine protection, and that's probably what it does for the porcupine itself. Right? It's showing that. I know, people make those videos where like, you don't hurt God's child. Well, yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. It's like you are divinely protected, but even if people, it's not like people won't be able to hurt you. Like emotionally, they probably will. Physically, they probably can't. Um, but you're always divinely protected and supported, no matter what. As you walk through the woods, you are not alone because you have the support of divine with you. So you are the person, perhaps someone who has a knowledge of healing. Says a knowledge of healing plants, of healing powers, and prophetic vision. So it looks like your future self is acknowledging more and more that they are a healer because they have healed themselves, or they are working to heal themselves. You're understanding that healing is a magical experience. I've actually heard people say, stop trying to heal or stop focusing on healing because that's keeping you from living the life that you want. I'm like, oh my God, that's the worst advice I've ever heard in my life. Healing is a beautiful energy because it's liberating. It lightens you up. It makes you feel so excited and passionate about life. So yeah, healing is just getting rid of all of that blockage, that murky water, dirt that's blocking you from seeing clearly how beautiful life is. So maybe you're also a bit of a shapeshifter. You're someone who can kind of shapeshift wherever you are at in experiences. And this is definitely inbuilt into divine children because we have to be adaptable to all circumstances. That's very important. Because you just never know what the mission is going to be. There might be someone who just knocks on your door one day and they're like, I need your help. Okay, so that is the Oracle cards. Let's go ahead and give you final advice with the Astro Dice. All right, so we have here Mars Aquarius in the 4th house. So that's about your psychology. We got willpower again with the sacral chakra. Okay. And so it looks like your, Aquarius is that energy of getting like innovative ideas and futuristic ideas. This is literally a future self, huh? Innovative futuristic ideas for how to heal. So I'm seeing someone who, I'm seeing them mess with potions and like try this and try that. So experiment here with yourself, with your thoughts, with your conscious states, and just see, what works. Because I'm seeing someone, kind of push against a force and climbing up a mountain, and they're having to like navigate these some stages of psychological warfare. So don't be afraid of that. There is some training here that needs to be done around your psychology. And just know that that's probably what you're going to be experiencing this year. There's going to be some training around your psychology and willpower to actually find the solution is what I'm seeing with that Aquarius. It's like, oh, this is what works. This is what gets me into a more healed, balanced, conscious state here. So I'm just seeing someone who's like really working, like they're sitting, they're meditating, and they're really working on their tuning into their conscious states, tuning in so that they're able to feel very strong and grounded in themselves. Okay, that's going to be the end of your reading here, group number 2. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe, or comment down below to support. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, group number 3, welcome to your reading. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with choosing a charm here, and I'm just going to see whatever I'm feeling energy with, and that's what I'm going to start your reading out with before we start pulling some cards and seeing whatever messages your future self has for you. Okay, let's just go ahead and feel into it, see what I'm vibing with. Okay, something over here. Not quite. I think it's this. Okay, it is. Alrighty. So group number... Group number 3, this is what you got. You got I love Hawaii or Hawaii. Aloha State. So this is actually what I think the license plate looked like at some point in Hawaii. I don't know. I think they change it every so many years, right? The design. But I think there was like it's just like a rainbow on a white background. But let's just go ahead and channel more and see what we're picking up. There's a lot of beautiful images. I love staring at things. So when I was packing to move, I actually found so many things I had that I was like, I want to do something with this. And so that's why I came up with a list of ideas for future readings to do with my things. So you're becoming, this is like someone who's very happy. I'm hearing kawaii, not just Hawaii, kawaii, which is Japanese. Kawaii is Japanese for cute, I think. But this is just really joyous. This is very childlike, playful, very high vibe for sure. Maybe you'll end up living in Hawaii is what your future self is saying, or on the islands. That would be cool. But mainly we're getting vibration here. So these colors are very solid. This reminds me of school and children. And children are so tuned into these beautiful vibrations that's why they draw rainbows all the time. Because they're very much channeling those rainbow-like energies here. And it looks like you're someone who is channeling this aloha, which could be love. Aloha is a greeting. So you're becoming someone who's very welcoming, warm, joyous, very, very playful. This energy is very playful. I'm seeing someone who's very creative. Maybe you see yourself, your future self will be working with kids, or you're just going to become more attuned to your playful state, childlike state here. Literally, aloha state. So it's saying your state of consciousness is welcoming, it's joyous, it's lovely. It's the energy of love. We have a honu here. Honu is a turtle. So the turtle is symbolic for taking your time at things. I'm seeing someone who literally is just doing, like a child who's painting or drawing, and they're doing different projects, and they do a little bit of this, and then they move on to the next one and the next one, because that's what's fun. We also have the hibiscus here. I forgot what that symbolizes, but it's the Hawaiian state flower, the hibiscus. I mean, it's a very beautiful flower. I used to eat them. With my neighbor, she ate plants, and so I would just kind of do what she was doing because she was older than me, and she was super sweet. She let me play with all her toys. And it tasted fine. I don't know, we would treat plants like food. Like the flowers outside the leaves. Never got sick from it. Yeah, so the hibiscus, I'm seeing this in someone's ear, and it looks very beautiful. It's very welcoming. There's vibrant. This is a very strong vibration. Someone who's very vibrant, someone who's very colorful. If you feel like you've been sort of down and out on life, just know that your future self is very happy. It's a very happy person. And this is what Source says you're working towards, okay? You don't go through all those things for nothing. You go through all those things to learn to be love. To be the literal vibration of love is what your future self is. Yeah, and even these letters look very bold. Hawaii. So someone who's very bold, perhaps quite outspoken. Strong personality here coming through. Okay, let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards and see what your future self... Oh, we got one right away. We got, King of Swords. We have the Visionary. There we go. Let me see. I'll pull it right there so you can see it a little better without the sun. King of Swords. Yeah, I was just saying someone who's outspoken. Yeah, so the King of Swords is actually really good because he's... think about all of the spiritual teachers who are communicative. They talk about their ideas and concepts. King of Swords is very mentally strong. This is someone who's able to attain very high states of consciousness. So it looks like you're mastering even higher states of consciousness than wherever you're at right now in life. And there's some stability around it here. And I'm seeing someone because your mind is like emptying of all of the garbage, there's a lot of space for imagination. There's a lot of space for creativity. There's a lot of space for joy, honestly, because our mind is the first place that's creating the misery in us. All of those negative thought patterns in life. And this is someone who, with that I love Hawaii here, this is someone who's learning how to really let go of the negative thought patterns, those thought states. So there's some more mastery your future self is learning how to attain. And because of this, you're learning how to tune into that peak point of joy within yourself. Yeah. But yeah, there's something about communication here coming through, you know, someone who could be a teacher, someone who's helping other people to work on their stuff, someone who's doing their own writing behind the scenes, perhaps. But this feels like this energy feels like it needs to be around people. Not needs, but like I'm saying, please put yourself around people, don't hide away, because this energy is so beautiful, you should share it with the world, is what I'm getting. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards and see what else your future self has to say. Okay. Imagination. Oh my goodness. Number 41. Imagination now sets me free. Divine ones, I send my thanks to thee. Yeah. So this is, it looks like you're tuning into higher states of imagination. Yes, this is possible. It's someone who is a creative, someone who literally used to paint, draw, create characters. Consciousness is a crazy thing. It's just crazy how it really just sort of free up your imagination. And when it comes to like conscious states, when it comes to communicating with divine, not just like, oh, I'm going to create something like a video or a project. That's cool. That's tier 1 imagination. Tier 2 imagination is like freeing your mind. Free your mind. So it says, imagination now sets me free. It seems like you're feeling a lot more liberated in the future, more free, more mentally free to just like be yourself, be authentic. And I'm seeing someone, is she writing? Looks like she has a pen in her hand where she's knitting. Here. So yeah, there could be some writing that is happening in your future where you're sharing these ideas that you're downloading, powerful imaginative ideas that you download. Everything that we download comes from divine, and it's an interpretation of their truth. But it looks like you are powerfully channeling some things that you're going to be sharing with people in the future. And I don't know, perhaps it surrounds love. The theme is love. The theme is joy, authenticity, and creativity. And that's what you're helping people to tune into. Okay, let's go ahead and pull a card from here. We'll pull this one out. We have here the fault line. Yeah. So this is probably what is helping you to break free of these outdated patterns here. You know, I'm seeing patterns here. And in my 2026 forecast video, I talked about geographical mapping and fragmentation, right? So there's fragmentation that happens, but there's also a necessary fault line that needs to happen, a breakage, in order for new, fresh life and ideas to come alive. So there's like there's newness opening up, and there's old patterns that are breaking away that are no longer resonant with you here. That's what we're seeing. Change, fault line. I'm at the fault line of my life, ready to be reborn by light. I'm feeling all right, all bright, all right, okay. I slay all day. Yes, I wrote that song. I think a couple years ago. Okay, so let's just go ahead and pull some more cards for you guys and see what else your future self has to say. Is it this? Oh, child wounded. Nice. Let me pull another one. Samaritan. Ooh. Someone who is generous and giving. So child wounds. Yes, the fragmentation is your childhood wounds. This is our DNA karma that's built within us. This is all of the fear and stuff that you came in with childhood. Once you hit adulthood, this is your opportunity to finally heal it, because as children, we can't process things. We're not really meant to process that trauma in childhood because there's a lot of formation happening with our body and our brain. We have to come into adulthood and then become miserable, and then we process all that stuff. So you might be wondering, well, my childhood was okay, but then why did I become super unhappy afterwards? That's because you started to feel everything and see everything, the bigger picture, what difficulties and challenges you've been going through. So instead of being someone who blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, or any kind of dysfunction on childhood wounds, you're becoming someone who awakens compassion and desire and who forgives. Now, There's another group that got this. That's why I pulled another card. But what I told them is that forgiveness happens naturally when you're just focusing on yourself and you're healing and you're working on yourself. That's when forgiveness gets to happen. It doesn't just happen. Don't ever force yourself. You can't go to a retreat and try to forgive someone. Like, it doesn't work like that. The forgiveness, it literally happens beautifully, little by little over time, where you wake up one day and you realize you're not mad. It is okay, and it is normal and natural to be upset and resentful while you are going through the dysfunction or the trauma. It is perfectly normal. You do not have to force yourself to forgive in that moment. What you want to do, ideally, is become as conscious as you can in that moment so as not to do anything or say anything that you will regret, ideally. But as someone who has like recently been through some stuff, I would say that, yeah, in the moment you're trying and you're just like, dang, I'm losing my patience right now. That's okay. Just keep working on it. So I think a lot of times the reason why people become so unhappy is because they put this unnecessary pressure on themselves to be able to change and to fix it and to be with it. And they're like, well, divine is teaching me all of this and I need to, you know how many teachers chose to end their life, or people who are leaning into consciousness chose to end their life because it was the pressure they were putting on themselves to be perfect. And it's not a thing. You just have to move through life with this imperfection. You have to move through life understanding that you are a vessel and you are just like everybody else, wounded, and you have things to work through, and it's fine. It's perfectly normal. So don't put that insane, unnecessary pressure on yourself to forgive, to be divinely, like, that's not a thing. I've seen a lot. That is not healthy. Okay. We have Samaritan. Refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Exacting appreciation, shadow attribute, exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. So your future self is someone who is becoming someone who gives just for the sake of giving because it feels good. And I know people who are already like this, honestly. They're just like, oh yeah, it feels great. But sometimes in the back of their mind, they're kind of hoping for a treat or acknowledgement back. And I actually talked about that in my 2026 astrological forecast video. I said that sometimes, people want to be generous and they think that means giving away a ton of money, when honestly your vibrational generosity, just being aligned with yourself and healing yourself, is more than enough. It's more than enough. So you're learning how to become someone who exchanged beautiful energy with other people. You're learning how to give and receive in balance and give from your heart. Generously, genuinely. Okay. Let's pull one more card from the Goddess Oracle card deck before we give you final advice to close out your reading. Future self. Ooh, got it. Ooh, Eve. Eve. The word Eve means life. The goddess Eve is the mother and nurturer of all life. She is the creator of the world and of all living beings, lady of the beast and steward of all growing things. Even in the Bible, she is portrayed with a snake, a potent symbol of the vital life force found in every living being. Yes, the snake is not a bad thing, guys. It's your Shakti life force energy. We like the snake. A symbol of the vital life force found in every living being, representing rebirth and regeneration. In one of the Gnostic texts, it is Eve who calls Adam to life. Eve is the embodiment of the primal female creative energy, of the powerful urge to create and to sustain life. She is active femininity and relatedness to all the lives. She is active femininity and relatedness to all that lives. She is life itself. Ooh, I love that. Man, this dude is like, this guy, Michael Babcock, is seriously channeling some like great stuff here, as is the artist Susan Eleanor Bolette here with these designs. Now look at the cycle of life. She's got the fish, the wolf, the bird, hawk, and a deer here associated with Eve. Life. Your future self is someone who loves life. Okay, I told this to another group too. If you don't want to be here, there's something wrong, because the mission is to learn how to integrate being here. What a lot of people do is they try to accumulate things, trophies, money, relationships, to escape from the reality of being here because they feel so miserable. So they're trying to drown themselves in pleasure and greed and all of the 7 deadly sins. But that's not going to ever lead to any sort of fulfillment. And there's ultimately a consequence to that unfolds where, you know, there's law and order, and that helps to realign that. And it takes away those things, or it creates a little bit of chaos in your life, because those are not the things that lead to your own genuine joy and happiness. Life. Learning how to appreciate life, learning how to love life. You know, with this woman with the flowers in her hair. Learning how to love life, appreciate life, see the beauty in it. So important. This is what brings our vibration up here. And this is how we live in harmony with life. You know, if you are miserable and unhappy here on earth, keep going, because, you know, that means that you're still healing. You know, you're still in that wounded space, and we've all been there. We've all been there. So we can come out of it. So learning how to love life itself is important. It looks like your future self is someone who is really attuned to that feminine essence within them, that is creative, that is attuned, gives back to other people, that calls things to life, right? Come alive is what I'm hearing. All right, let's go ahead and roll the Astro dice for final advice. We got Jupiter in Capricorn in the 10th house. So that's very specific there, isn't that? So, you know, Jupiter is actually considered debilitating Capricorn, but, you know, the more research I do on grahas, the more I'm like, it's not really a negative thing. Debilitations. It challenges you in a different way. Right, so Jupiter would be considered exalted in like a Cancer-like energy, where we're perhaps tuning into our heart source. But a Jupiter in Capricorn is more maybe tied to systems, right? And Jupiter doesn't want to be tied to systems necessarily because it's about freedom. But what if there was a system that worked, right? Anyways, what I'm trying to say, get back to the message here, is sources telling you to continue building in your repertoire of knowledge and insight and wisdom, to continue putting in the work, to know that this work is never done. You know, some people say, oh no, what? We need to do more work, more inner work. The inner work never stops. So if you start to see this as a genuine passion, this is why, you know, working those 9-to-5 jobs doesn't really work in alignment with this kind of devotion, because it takes all of you. It takes a lot of time, energy, and effort to really work on yourself, right? So those jobs usually take away a lot of your energy, to be able to have to do things that you're really passionate about and that you love. So Source is really saying to dedicate yourself to this. This is a lifetime commitment. Think of it as a lifetime commitment. Don't think of it as short term. To understand that building the wisdom is your career. This is your purpose here. This is your purpose with the King of Swords. To know this. Not even necessarily to teach it. You can with that Jupiter in 10th house in Capricorn for sure. You would be someone who could perhaps offer that insight to other people. And naturally you will want to give, right, with the Samaritan, because you know something. You feel like you know something. But what's more important is to know it in your heart. To know that it is right and it aligns and it's in sync and it feels right. That's what's more important. To continue building your repertoire when it comes to the wisdom and insight. Don't ever stop learning. Always be open. Don't get rigid or stuck in ideas. Always be open and be flexible to welcome new things. That is a childlike mind. It's a child who enters into the kingdom of heaven. So we can enter into and receive that insight of heaven and divine if we humble ourselves like a child, and we're always open to learning, always open to remolding and reshaping ourselves and our conscious states. But other than that, there is perhaps an opportunity for you to share this wisdom that maybe and feel like it is a part of your life purpose. It probably is, because it's part of everyone's purpose to share themselves. Right? You should share what you know. And it looks like your future self feels good to share what they know. Okay. That's going to be the end of this reading here for you, group number 3. Like, subscribe, comment down below to support. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Royal robe and red wine, finally found some downtime. Pick up lines in my pride. I'm the queen of my world. I still travel to any realm. Money comes too easy. I need infinity to entertain. Save me. Let me go into my meditation where I build worlds and co-create my reality. Anything I think of becomes real for me. Who are you deluding yourself? Deprived of your inherent wealth, you have to recognize it. Who are you not to believe in you when it's in you? I'm on the front line of my life, ready to be born again. pick up lines in my pride. Free, finally, I can just be free.